Hi, and welcome to Grade Gov News. Well, Washington, D.C. survived inaugural week. President Obama was inaugurated for a second term as our President of the United States, and the Senate of the United States actually survived a rules challenge. This was the attempt by Harry Reid to potentially change the Senate rules forever. But they ended up coming to an agreement. The Senate minority and the Senate majority, the Republicans and the Democrats, came to an agreement, and they decided to modify the rules so that minority members, Republican members, might actually get more of an opportunity to offer amendments. So we'll see how that turns out during the 113th Congress. I'm sure we'll be talking about it. And then the House of Representatives, well, they passed a debt ceiling increase. They gave the President of the United States the ability to write checks through May 19th. This is assuming the Senate passes this bill. But also included in the debt increase is what they called no pay, no budget. They are attaching to the debt limit increase a mandate that both the House of Representatives and the Senate of the United States have to pass a budget resolution this year, and they have to do it by April 15th. If not, they simply don't get paid. Their money, their paychecks will be held in escrow. Well, it looks like after the House of Representatives passed that earlier in the week, it looks like the President of the United States has decided that's not such a bad idea and that he'll sign the bill, and that the Majority Leader Harry Reid said he would have the Senate call it up and pass it. So that looks like what the Senate will do next week. But you had an interesting conversation going back and forth once the House of Representatives passed the debt ceiling with the no budget, no pay angle. Senator Schumer, the Democrat from New York, said that he was eager for the Senate to pass a budget resolution. You know, they haven't passed a budget resolution since 2009. As a matter of fact, in 2010, when Nancy Pelosi ran the House of Representatives and Harry Reid ran the United States Senate, neither body, neither House nor Senate, for the first time in the history of our Congress, neither House nor Senate adopted a budget resolution. Also that same year, you might call it a red letter year, in 2010, Nancy Pelosi again and Harry Reid both decided that they were not going to call up a single appropriations bill. That made history because that was the first time that neither House of Congress, neither the House nor the Senate, passed a single appropriations bill since the appropriations process was created back in the 1860s. Both the House and the Senate back in the 1860s decided, since the appropriations process is described in our U.S. Constitution, that they better make a completely separate process for the Congress of the United States to deal with the appropriations bills. And every year since then, except for 2010, Congress has done some or all of the appropriations bills. Well, back in 2010, they decided not to do a budget, and they also decided not to do a single one of the 12 appropriations bills, which actually fund all of our agencies. So now the House of Representatives has basically said to the Senate and to the President, you can have your debt increase. The President, you can write your checks, pay our bills through May 19th, but the Senate and the House must enact a budget resolution if they want to get paid. And Senator Schumer is saying, not such a bad idea. Why is he saying that? Well, the budget resolution process can create what is known as a reconciliation bill. This is a bill that is created later. But in the budget process, the budget resolution instructs committees of the House or the Senate to do something in the future. And Senator Schumer is saying he may like to see the budget resolution create a reconciliation process to tell the Finance Committee in the Senate, maybe the House Ways and Means Committee on the House of Representatives, to construct tax reform. And Senator Schumer would like to see that tax reform bill created out of the reconciliation process to increase taxes about $600 billion. That's right, he wants to do a big old tax bill. Now, some people listening to this may think that's a great idea. Some maybe fiscal conservatives think that's a terrible idea. But you need to know that the reconciliation process is a pretty clever way to try to get the bill through Congress. Because reconciliation bills, once they're created, remember they're born out of doing a budget resolution, but they're separately created. And once they are created, they can be passed in the United States Senate with only a majority vote. And they have time limits. They have a 20-hour time limit for debate in the United States Senate, so that Senate Republicans couldn't filibuster the bill. That's one of the reasons why I think Senator Schumer and Senate Democrats are all of a sudden all about trying to do a budget resolution, because they might be able to use it to construct a reconciliation bill for later in the year that would be tax reform, and of course in their eyes tax reform is tax increases. We'll watch it over the coming weeks. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week. I will talk to you real soon, so stay tuned.